Hello lovely people, and welcome to another video that doesn't have a clickbait title. There is actually going to be talk in this video of fertility treatment, but not right this very second, because I didn't want to upset people who just accidentally came across this video. Because you know what, that's been happening to me a lot recently. Boy does it get you. Long and short of it, timestamp. But for the rest of you here, hi! By the way, thank you so much to those of you who watched and commented on my previous video and really enjoyed it about whether having same-sex parents actually is detrimental for children or a good thing. When I went into the research of that one, I did have a little bit of bias as, you know, one of the mums in a two-mum family, but you can find the result of the actual research there in my video, which you can watch by clicking the card up here, or I will also link it. But my point was, I apologise for the audio issues in that video. I should have fixed that now. As someone who struggles with my hearing, I do sometimes also struggle with microphones, as you can imagine. Thank you so much for the love on my favourites video last month. I thought I'd do another one. It's a nice way just to keep in touch and discuss things that I'm loving or not liking. It's also just a more casual video that's not like scripted. It's more about life. There'll be more. Just like last month. Here are 5 of my favourite things from this month. I'm going to link the things that have links down in the description below. You can also find them on my Instagram story, which is, my Instagram is @JessicaAutoCloset. You should be following my Instagram already though, obviously. For those of you who are new here and actually have no idea what you've just stumbled into watching, hi, I'm Jessica. This is my channel. I talk about, obviously, vintage things. Look at me. What am I even doing in the year 2024? I'm gay, that's why I had to be born now. Also, disabled. Would have been very unfortunate if I was born 100 years ago. That wouldn't have worked out well for me. Even 80 years ago, actually. Or 60 years. I mean, my childhood was in the 90s and that wasn't stellar either. Where am I going with this? This is meant to be an intro. Let's get into my favourite things this month. Favourite thing number 1 this month, this dress. And of course, coordinating bow. Incredible, they sent a matching bow. This dress is from the Pretty Dress Company. It's called the Tilly. You may have seen me in this shape before. I have a number of them. Yeah, I think I have 8 of them. They come in a range of different colours, patterns, styles, and they're so lovely. And you can wear them to anything. I've worn these dresses to weddings, to fancy events, to black tie things. Not to black tie things, that would be silly, obviously, it's not floor length. Asda. Thank you, wife. I was trying to think of the word for a premiere, but also Asda, yes.
They're also not sponsoring this video.
They're not a sponsor, no. I just like the dress. Can we guess though? I have a question. Is the dress more Alice in Wonderland or Princess? Rupert particularly likes it because the bow matches. Today, as he was leaving to go to school, he went, "Oh Mama, I just love your matching hair bow. It is so lovely, with your matching top and matching skirt." It's a dress, not a top and a skirt, but we're getting there. The important part is that he knows matching is lovely. Okay, and then come down. So, as you can see, I've added an apron, and now I think we're definitely getting more Alice in Wonderland rather than princess vibes. Also, why are there a strange number of princesses who do wear aprons? Is an apron therefore princess core? So this lovely mirror here is meant to be where I take selfies of my outfits. Ta-da! Lovely. But you may notice there's something a bit off. Yes, it's this gallery picture wall that I said I was going to do before Malaysia, and I still haven't. Did the whole classic, like, cut out the pieces in craft paper, stick it to the wall, used blue tack for any we didn't have, and I was like, this will fit this space. There's a lot of stock pictures in here. This is the only picture that's not a stock photo. That's me. I'm 2. I've got a bow in my hair. Wow, so much has changed. This is not me, but because you're here to hold me accountable, I am actually going to do something about this. We're actually going to buy one of those Etsy gallery wall things where you get a whole set of pictures and do it. Just download them, print them, Stick them in your images? Frames. Stick them in your frames. And then it's done. It's good. Add to basket. Do it. Buy it now. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. Dispatch here. Wait, isn't this printable? Here it's going. We're doing it. We're PayPaling it. Okay, it's happening. Alright, and then the next time we film this, next month, I'm going to have things on the wall. Favourite thing of the month, number 2. Do you too eat gluten-free bread in your house? Do you too find it exorbitantly expensive? Well, simply buy your wife a bread maker that she will not use for a couple of months until your toddler really gets on a baking obsession, and then find how much cheaper it is to make your own bread from a number of mixes. This is the best one. This one, it's on screen right now. I don't have the packet because we've used it all up, but this one, get this one. It's the only good one. We've tried the rest. We've tried a variation of things. We've tried to make our own. We've tried just flour. It's terrible. It's rubbery. They've gone like a floppy disk, but not in the way that you'd put it in a computer. More like a frisbee that you would throw at someone you hate. Do they taste the same? I can't even remember what regular bread tastes like at this point, to be honest. Number 3. Probably the worst part of this month, not a favourite at all, is that it is April. Claudia took a pregnancy test this morning and it was negative, just like the pregnancy test she took yesterday and the one she took the day before. So that's, that's great, that's good. IVF journey going so well. I don't even like the number of times this has not worked now. We just kind of thought that it would, because with Rupert, sure, those IVIs didn't work. IUIs didn't work, but the IVF, that worked first time. And now it hasn't. What's that? Secondary infertility? But you know what we do have? Even if we still don't have a baby / baby sister, does not help that he constantly asks, where's baby sister? Why isn't baby sister here yet? Where's baby sister? I can't do that yet. I'm waiting for my baby sister. Don't ask me what will happen if it's not a baby sister. We don't know. Not prepared for that one. So we don't have a baby, but we do have a big kid. I know. He's not actually 3 yet, but still. He's pretty much a big kid. The other day, we were playing a game in the woods, hunting for pine cones, and he made Claude and I stand in different tree hollows and went, "Mummy and Mama, you must each stand in a tree. That is the game. You stand in the trees. However, I am allowed to walk around," and then marched around with his sticks. And we stared at each other because the child knows how to use the word however. Baffling. But when did that happen? I swear Goo Goo Gaga was yesterday. Oh, except it wasn't. Even though he's a big child now, he has just started in the next part of his Montessori school classroom, which is the 3 to 6 class, the Children's House, or Casa Bambina, which I probably just said wrong. I should know that better. Anyway, Montessori classrooms are structured for multiple age groups and also generally have Italian names that I'm not very good at saying. So, Children's House, there we go. He's in Children's House. And he obviously had a little bit of the, oh, going to start at a new place, fear, even though he's the only child transitioning up, but he knows the other children in the class above him because half of them he was in the lower class with and the other half are older, and mainly siblings of the kids he knows. And so we've been doing lots of books, book reading around starting new schools and starting new classes. So I wanted to share a particularly good book that has become his favourite book about starting new schools. And so this is it. This was a long ramble to get here, but this was the favourite, the number 3. It's I'm feeling a little bit shy. It follows a little girl who feels a little bit shy sometimes in all the different situations that she goes through. She goes to a birthday party, she goes out shopping for new shoes, and she starts at a new school. Here she is at her friend's house for the birthday party, and someone, a grandparent, it's always a grandparent, calls her shy, which is a word that we never use with Rupert to call him shy. But he is, I suppose, someone of an older generation might call shy. But nowadays we say, he just takes a while to warm up. He likes to enter a room and get his bearings. When he's ready, he'll join. He's incredibly chatty. He can talk a mile a minute. He will talk to anyone about anything. He will go up and talk to the adults who's selling. He was very confident in shops for some reason. Happily buy things. If it's only like a purchase thing, a transaction where he knows exactly what is expected of him, perfectly fine. The socialising aspect, it's a bit more like, I don't know. What's the reasoning here? I'm going to freeze and wait until I've seen everyone else interact for at least 10 minutes, then I will unfreeze and start off. And so I very much like that they're depicting that happening. And look, you can see them through the door, and then the door opens and out the mum through the door, holding the cake. And of course, it's a wonderfully inclusive book. Not only is the family depicted, I'm gonna say Southeast Asian. It's not that easy to tell. We'll see children on the playground who are using wheelchairs. There's a child with hearing aids in her music class. Really loud. So, yeah, just thought I'd share a really good book with you for anyone who also has someone who maybe feels sometimes a little bit slow to warm. He's been repeating a lot of the things from the book, and it's definitely been making him feel very good about himself in his own way. He knows he doesn't need to change himself in any way. Obviously we've always told him that he doesn't need to change anything about himself, but it makes him feel good to know that other people are the same way. It's always nice to see yourself represented in stories, even if it's just a shy person. Other people are shy too. Favourite thing number 4 was a delightful afternoon tea that I've recently had at the Strand Palace Hotel with some truly wonderful subscribers of mine to celebrate my 1 million milestone. It was such a lovely way to bring people together, and for me, having built a community on YouTube where we can talk about LGBTQ plus issues and history and the fun parts of that, and also talk about chronic illness and disability, coming together, supporting each other. And when I make videos, it isn't just necessarily for other people, which feels a little strange to say, like it's just me who's there watching them. Some videos, that is true, because they don't get released to the public. Some of them do not make the cut. What I mean more is that often people will come up to me and say, thank you so much for making this, thank you so much for giving me a way to talk about this subject with my friends or my family, or giving me the words to be able to express how my body feels. And that's what I was struggling with doing. And I think that maybe I don't get to say enough how much having this online community helps me too. It benefits me so much to be able to not only have the chance and the opportunity to talk about things and research and my gosh, be able to even have a job where I would very much struggle in any traditional 9-to-5 role with my health, which tenuous at best. You see me on my good day, but I do very often have, 3-day migraine, and I am in bed and that's it. It would be such an incredible struggle for me to be able to support my family when, on those days, I take the energy that I have and I pour it into Rupert, because I'm like, this is the thing. If I have any energy at all, it's going to you. It's all for you. You are my love. You are what matters. I don't need to be clean. I don't need to get dressed. I don't need to get up out of bed. He will come and read books with me in bed, do sticker books, play games. But he loves to come and do a performance for me whilst I'm lying in bed, and I'm like, I'm too ill to lift my head, but pray continue with this incredible ballet performance. Thank you so much. I will never be able to find the words and express how grateful I am for having this online community and the amazing things that doing YouTube, using this YouTube platform have brought me. For me, there was a special joy and magic in having people there to celebrate, meet each other, create connection, and have a lovely time. We ate some gorgeous afternoon tea. We did a bit of crafting. It was actually Good Friday, so I was like, let's paint eggs. Why not? And I even did a little quiz, which was great fun. Very much enjoyed that quiz. With like different areas. The quiz had like LGBTQ+ history, fashion history, different things about Jessica. How much do you know? All things that was like you will find in my videos. Easter eggs. It was really great. Right, for those of you who enjoy a good product recommendation, and quite liked that. Oh yeah, welcome to my bathroom again. For those of you who enjoy a good product recommendation, boom, this tiny little thing. It is Clinique Smart Clinical Repair Lifting Face and Neck Cream. Now, Roger and I have very different beauty routines, any kind of routine, all routines. Here's a shot of my side of the sink, and here's a shot of hers. Yeah, okay. But the one thing that we agree on and both use is this lovely cream. So I thought it was a good thing to probably add to my favourites. Wonderful, so wonderful that we're pretty much out of it. I'm generally not a cream type of person. I enjoy more of a serum, an oil, a lighter, gentler thing across my face. Even if my skincare routine has steps to it, even if, to be honest, the thing that would help my face the most would be getting more sleep. But I can't because I have ADHD, and for some reason it gets to 11:30 or midnight and I'm like, darn, I know that Rupert's been asleep for like 3 hours now and Claudia's been asleep for at least 1 hour, but I just can't go to sleep. What if I miss something? What if something great happens? What's going to happen, Jessica? Absolutely nothing's going to happen. Your house is completely dark. No one's awake. There's nothing. I just can't stop because I might learn something in that time. I'm missing out on a learning opportunity by going to sleep. But sleep is when we consolidate the learning from the day. So go to sleep. I can say these things now, but then it will get to tonight. It will get dark. It will get late. And everyone else will go to sleep. And I'll be like, must feed the Wikipedia addiction. So I will, whilst wearing a lovely cream on my face. Hints and tips. Always make sure to use whatever you're using on your face, also on your neck and your décolletage, because they will also require the same love. Your skin on your neck is really quite thin. It needs protecting. Look after it. Remember to always wear your sun cream. I meant to say neck, I said face. You get what I mean, neck and face. And it's purple, so it matches all the other cream and doesn't give me spots. For some reason, I find that whenever I use a cream on my face, it gives me spots. I have to use quite like lighter things, but this beauty works very well. Multi-peptides and hyaluronic acid, but normally the peptide on my face spots, but this one, no. So there we are, my 5 favourite things from this month. I mean, I say that, that pause was just because I'm like, wait, I'm sure I always talk about more than 5 things in this video. I'm like, my 5 favourite things, but also there's like the 6th one, and the 7th one, and this 8th one, and this 9th one. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. Better to have favourite things rather than things you don't like, right? Pregnancy tests, that's what I don't like. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go and try and find a TV show or a film that does not suddenly randomly involve the loss of a baby. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below which of my favourite things was your favourite, and also what's your favourite thing this month? What do you love? As a family, when we sit down to dinner in the evenings, we always go around the table and say and ask what was your favourite part of the day. It's a really lovely way to check in with each other, connect, you know, remind Rupert of what's actually happened this day. He loves it so much, and if we don't do it, he will remind us and say, like, Mama, ask me what was my favourite thing today. And I would be like, oh, sorry, darling. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in my next video.